first thought was a German phenomenon. I mean, for instance, like this paper, the panic paper that emerged from the Ministry of the Interior, where it was clearly laid out how they should frighten us with the stories about the suffocating grandma and these kind of things. And then all of a sudden we hear that it's the same paper basically that circulated in England and in the Netherlands and in Spain, and they all have the same stories. So we could from then all of a sudden understand it's not like a dilettantic German government that's been trapped or overwhelmed by fear, but it's a global agenda. And I think our answer to this whole global endeavor has also to be global. And this is actually why we're here, or why I am here together with Robert, who from Over Media, they have done all the transmission, the broadcast of the Ausschuss, the committee. And so we just basically founded or are setting up an outpost of our committee from Germany here. So because the plan is to show basically in Hebrew and English the population here, like a compilation of the experts that we have, like for instance Wolfgang Wodak, who you might be familiar with. He was the one who gave in our first session an overview of what he has learned from the swine flu fake pandemic. And so we were able to connect the dots much faster than had we just looked at some details about the coronavirus. And I think it's important that we bring this knowledge that's been already gathered abroad, like by us. We've spoken to 400 experts, and then combine this with what you have experienced here, the information that's on the ground in Israel, talk to the testimonies and talk to the experts here, and do this in a very condensed form. And I think we're going to learn so much from one another. We already have learned, already what we learned in this week. It's like it's a mycelium of information, and the mushrooms are popping up, just like us popping up here now. But it's also information combining, and I think the network is growing stronger and stronger. So, personally, I'm convinced that we've already made it, and that it's really a question of time that the fog absolutely lifts. And I see them dancing like crazy, but the more they dance, the faster the masks are falling off their terrible monster faces, and it's getting harder and harder for them to disguise what they're really about. So
Vivian,
I think...
Can I ask you a question? Do you think they are starting to run away? I mean, the politicians are all over the world. Yeah. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, we've also had the thought that the rats are leaving the sinking ship, but we don't know. It's maybe also part of a plan of creating a little bit more chaos. I think we, at this point, cannot be convinced that it's already, the signs of the fog really lifting. But I think it's a good sign that some of them are really just tugging their tails in. And but I think, it's basically they will not. Humankind. I think we as people, we're so strong. And we have, the more we connect, you can feel already here, I can feel the energy coming from this crowd, and it's a global connection. They will not get us off the face of this earth, because we belong here, and we don't need to be changed and optimized in a transhumanist kind of way or whatever. I think mankind is beautiful the way it is, with all its imperfections and with everything we have, whatever, with our emotions that are not imperfect at all, of course, but that are our utmost beauty. And I think this is what we have to concentrate on. And they will not succeed with their drive to just break us or make us into some sort of machine. That's not going to work. And it's really just I think we have, to some extent, we have to be a little bit patient, and we must not despair, and we must not give in, because they're going to put more pressure on us. But I think it's also on us to say, not with me, I'm just not doing it. And I think there's so many examples where you just can't say no. Like, for instance, in the kindergarten that my children go to, they wanted me to wear a mask, and I'm not wearing a mask, so I just didn't do it, and nothing happens. And I mean, you know, there's so many things of that kind. You see that all the time, and people just like, you know, get themselves into like an afraid state, and then they might give in. Also, we also must stay away from the fears that we maybe create our own, you know, that we think, oh, it's now going to be the nuclear bomb, or whatever, they're going to, I don't know, cover the clouds, the sky with clouds that's going to take all the light away, or whatever we might think of. So we must also stay in our middle. But I think it's really a question of time. We have to be patient, but I think we have to continue the fight, and we must not stop fighting, and must not stop speaking the truth. And then I think it's going to be the morphogenetic field that's going to blow them away in the end.
Thank you so much for your words. You know, one of the questions that rose here was when it's going to all stop. And I think we answered this question, and you don't know Hebrew, and you answered the same question. And we said when we all rise up and say no and unite, and grow personally and consciously. And I think you summed it. You didn't even know what we were saying. So thank you so much for your work, and we appreciate that you came here and spoke with us. Thank you.
Thanks a lot also for your work. It's amazing. Thank you.
תודה לכם. תהיו אנשים. ביי.